Then she goes on to say, and she was obviously not sleeping at night because this is 16 hours ago. That would have been around 4 in the morning. She says, guys, by the way, this is a personal affair. Why is this a headlines news? All you have achieved is Meher telling lies and her 5 minutes of fame. I have all the BBM. Then you've got Sunanda saying, totally agree. I want solidarity from my Indian fans to stop following Meher. There are good Pakistanis and then there are people like her. Sunanda then says, this time I'm not marked on the conversation, a person with a Twitter handle, Funny Diol, is, sadly it's not the men, it's the woman who hit on a man when the wife is out to get treated. How gross. And this is what she told me also, that she was getting treated. She was undertaking some Ayurveda treatment in Kerala, which is when she was away from Shashi Tharoor, and she says that's when the vultures pounced. Those were the words that she used. That's where the vultures pounced. And she's now saying it's how gross. Again, at 4 AM this morning, she's saying that is a sick thing to say. Would you send your spouse to sleep with a Pakistani to improve Indo-Pak ties? This, I guess, is in response to somebody by the name Aapka Jagrut suggesting that maybe Meher and Shashi should be allowed to have a scene because that would help improve Indo-Pak talks. So she says that's a sick idea. Then she goes on to say, I've seen the BBMs. Meher Tarar is totally desperate. Feel deep pity for her. And men, we all know. Then she says, हाँ जब अपना पति छोड़ देता है तो दूसरों का मियाँ को पकड़ो. हाँ जब अपना पति छोड़ देता है तो दूसरों के मियाँ को पकड़ो. So sad, I feel pity for the woman. Then she goes on. You know, Veer Sanghvi, man and woman have had problems in the past. You know, there have been multiple such instances of marriages coming apart. But this is the first time that this marriage came apart on Twitter. And it is Shashi Tharoor who introduced Sunanda to Twitter. Shashi Tharoor introduced lots of Indians to Twitter. And then Twitter is what got him into trouble the first time round when he was sacked as the External Affairs Minister. Now alleged external affairs, again leading to a lot of trouble for Shashi Tharoor.
Yeah, I think Twitter has been a bit of a poisoned chalice for Shashi Tharoor. At one level, he was a pioneer. He's probably got more followers, genuine followers, not rigged by some political party, than nearly anybody else in India. Yet it's hard to see what good Twitter has done him. He got into this battle with Lalit Modi, which led to his resignation. Even before that, Twitter had been an embarrassment. And yet he kept on. He was compulsive with Twitter. I remember him telling me very proudly that Sunanda had got on and he told her to get on and she was really going to let it all hang out. And she said to me, you know what I'm like? I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm going to tell it like it is. And well, sadly enough, she did. She told it like it was. Just one more thing. And I think one reason I feel very bad for Sunanda is that there is no doubt that Shashi and she were clearly very, very much in love. I remember when the whole Lalit Modi thing started and Shashi started tweeting, I called him and I said, for God's sake, stop it. This is only going to backfire on you. Why are you doing it? And I've known Shashi for about 20, 25 years, long before he joined politics. And he said, no, Lalit Modi has insulted the woman I love and I will not take this lying down. And yet, ultimately, it got him nowhere, that battle. It got poor Sunanda nowhere. She got a lot of Benami, which she's often told me was completely unfair. She said she had no involvement in this whole IPL thing. Shashi got her into it. She was treated by people in some kind of bag woman. She tried very hard to come up and to ignore that, to cover it up, to put on a brave front. Then this affair, it's just been a very, very sad life for her ever since she married Shashi, despite every attempt, I think, on both their parts, as a couple who loved each other very much, to try and do something. I think these are the perils of being on Twitter in some level, and perils of being in the public eye, because this is a couple that did everything in the public eye. They were tweeting recently about meeting again at the same spot where they had first met and had their first dinner. You can't do these things in the public eye. It tends to backfire.